Kyle, this is Jeffrey Mock calling the Pennsylvania Game Commission. I am calling to notify you that you were drawn for a bull elk from Elk Zone 14 for the upcoming elk archery season.
For most hunters, a bull elk represents the ultimate of hunting pursuits. They are notorious for being exceptionally wary, often seen for only a momentary glimpse before vanishing into the dark timber. The steep mountainous terrain they prefer offers them added protection from all but the most ambitious hunters. Elk harvest rates in rifle seasons for most western states hover around 10%, meaning that an average hunter might expect to take an elk once in a decade if they're persistent. For those aiming to take a mature bull that is often surrounded by a large herd of cows and satellite bulls, the odds are much less. And if you hope to get yourself within archery range of that same herd bull, you shouldn't expect an opportunity more than 1 or 2 times in your entire hunting career. Here in Pennsylvania, the elk herd has flourished since its reintroduction in 1913. The Keystone State is home to some of the largest elk in North America. Last year, over 57,000 hunters applied for one of only 65 bull tags in the entire state. So when my name was drawn for one of only 18 archery bull tags for the upcoming season, I knew this would truly be the hunt of a lifetime. The question was, could I make the most of the opportunity that the majority of hunters can only dream about? And if my moment with a herd bull finally came, would I be up to the task? Could I hold it together in the heat of the moment? Would my arrow fly true? Hello, I'm Kyle Schwabenbauer from Clarion County, Pennsylvania, and this is the story of my 2023 archery bull hunt. As you might imagine, I was pretty shocked when I got that phone call, just in disbelief that it was really me that had this tag and this opportunity. Had been putting in for almost 20 years, ever since the program started, and just never ever thought that it would actually be me that would get a chance to hunt elk in Pennsylvania. After the shock and everything wore off and I realized, like, wow, I actually have this tag, quite frankly there's a lot of work to be done, and I think I had 6 weeks from the time I found out until the season opened. So I was on the road almost immediately with a backpack and a bunch of cameras and just planned to learn as much as I could. It was pretty obvious that the zone was just enormous and there was no way you could really cover it all. So you had to find where the animals were and were spending their time and why and where they might be in the upcoming season. The summer scouting, you could tell, was going to be very different than what it was going to be like for the actual archery hunt. Good morning. It is mid-August here in the Pennsylvania Elk Range. Beautiful morning, a lot of bugs as you can see. It's pretty warm today, but getting in here and looking for some of these food plots and places where the Game Commission has planted clover and different mixes for the elk. So they're primarily grazers. So get up in here in the big mountains and everything, there's a lot of timber, and so these openings pretty much where the elk are going to key on. And so we're going to set up some trail cameras today and hopefully get us some leads for next month. Season starts September 16th, so we'll be here and we'll be ready. I think one thing that was important to me for this hunt was to include my family in the process. Try to take my wife and my daughters up there along just so they could experience a little bit of that, get them to see some elk.
Let's take a picture. Look at it. He's videoing you actually. There's like an
They're backwards.
You gotta turn them around.
We actually took a camping trip up to Kettle Creek. Took the family and a good friend of mine. He and his wife went along with their kids, and so we took the youngsters out, got them out early in the morning to hear some bugling, and set up cameras with them, kind of showed them the elk range and My daughters are pretty young, but they were still excited about it. I think they wanted to kind of share in that with me, and that was really neat to see. So we spent a lot of time covering ground, just trying to learn the unit as much as we could. We found elk pretty quickly. There's a ton of bulls there, and we were lucky to get on some and kind of learn the local herd, and it was really neat to get pictures of elk on a trail camera. You know, that's something I had never done before. Actually, you know, target elk with a camera, and that was pretty cool. Hunting for me is more than a hobby. It's probably a lifestyle, and my wife would probably tell you an addiction. But as a younger man, it was probably the most important thing in my life, no question about it. Actually hunted so much and did a lot of filming on my own, and it grew into a career in the outdoor industry, and actually starting a video team and a program called Wired Outdoors. And you know, we did a lot of traveling around the country, and was just completely blessed to be on a ton of amazing hunts, meet a lot of amazing people, and just build some relationships that have endured the years even after that. My love of the outdoors and being in the industry for a while kind of prompted me with a good friend of mine to start a charity called Camo Cares, and that was set up to help children with life-threatening illnesses to send them on their dream hunts. And so it was just kind of a small idea to start with. We wanted to send one kid on a hunt, and it grew rapidly from there, and a lot more people got involved. And that charity grew enough to where we were able to start helping wounded veterans and take them on their dream hunts. It grew into this amazing nonprofit organization that has had impacts well beyond anything I could have ever imagined. We're in our 15th year now, and have traveled all around the world with people and met some of the most amazing kids and their families, and it's changed my life as far as how I look at the world and challenges that these families face with illnesses that, you know, I don't feel anyone should ever have to go through. But yet at the same time, these people, they grow so much, a lot of times spiritually, and they become much stronger people, and they go on to help others. And that was all with God's help. There's no question there that we had never intended that or planned that. It's just been an amazing blessing to me and the whole organization. Throughout my life, I have been blessed to have been on quite a few elk hunts. Some myself while I was the hunter, some to go along and videotape for other people, some with Camo Cares, where we got to hunt with the best elk hunters on the planet, no joke. And I've taken some bulls myself, a couple with a bow, a couple with a rifle. So I've been around elk quite a bit, and I guess leading into this hunt, I knew that I wasn't just going up there to kill any elk. I wanted to get what I consider the full experience. I wanted to wait for an older, mature animal, a herd bull. A lot of people told me early on, you know, you can shoot the next state record in Pennsylvania. You need to, you know, book the right outfitter. You need to find the right bull, and you can shoot the biggest bull in the state. And I guess, you know, for me, that just was never really my goal. Focusing on a score of a bull or a size of a bull was just not at all what I was interested in. When we see the right bull or the right encounter, I'll know it, and I'm not gonna, you know, get fixated on a score. Probably the biggest priority for me on this trip was to take my dad along and have him experience everything I knew that would happen with the elk rut in Pennsylvania. You know, we've been blessed to have been on a whole bunch of hunts together over the years. I'm a lucky guy to have been able to be in the woods with my dad as much as I have, and we've had some great hunts together, just beyond words with excitement on some of them. But this elk hunt really, I knew had potential to just top them all. It was important to share it with my dad because he's done so much for me over the years. As a younger guy, I don't think you really can appreciate it until you have kids yourself and you start to see basically how hard it is to be a parent and to navigate all that. And my kids are just young, and I look back on all the times that my dad was there for me and the things that he did, and he's one of these guys that I could always count on him no matter what. Like, the guy was there for me always and always will be, and I know that. And to be able to give back to him a little bit with this trip was just the best feeling ever. One thing that was really important to me with this trip was to include as many of my friends as I could. A lot of these guys I've grown up hunting with, and they've been lifelong friends, and they call themselves Elkatraz because we've traveled on a lot of trips out west, and Elkatraz is like our camp name. And so we were Elkatraz East for this trip, and you know, they were really excited to be there. It meant the world to me that they could come. And these guys are they're more than friends to me because I met them all when I was really young. I was a teenager, very impressionable, and to have the kind of guys that I encountered with this group, these guys are just salt of the earth guys, strong Christians, care about their families, the kind of guys that would do anything for anybody, just volunteer in the community, you name it. They are the best of the best. And to be able to grow up with a crew like that, I had a friend tell me the other day, he said, how did we get so lucky to grow up where we did with this group? And that's really true. And I realize now, as I get a little bit older, what a big impact they've made on me. And you know, they've done so much for me over the years, helped me through some really dark days, and you know, the kind of friends you can lean on no matter what. And I can't imagine where I'd be without them, and what my life would probably look like without their influences. And it means the world to me that they could be there and be part of it, and I knew we were in for a phenomenal hunt. I think a lot of people have the impression that if you go elk hunting in Pennsylvania, it's a pretty easy thing, and you know, they're familiar with the Benezet area and how the elk behave up there. And I can tell you that the elk in Zone 14 are a completely different animal. They are absolutely 100% wild elk, and they will not tolerate any kind of human intrusion. And they were incredibly difficult to hunt with the herd bulls the way they were. They had tons of cows with them. Getting close to the herd was just really tough, and the bulls were fighting, and so you would get in close and you'd think that you had a pretty good setup, and then there would be a big fight would break out and the elk would move off, you know, half mile down the mountain. And so staying on the herds was tough. But you know, we hunted really hard all week long, and nothing was quite coming together, you know. And after a while you start getting down where you know the end of the trip is near, and you're down to the last couple days, and you start thinking through, you know, well, this may not happen. And you know, I didn't like that thought, but at the same time, for me, we'd already experienced so much of what I'd hoped to see on this trip, and to have all the guys there, that there was no way I was going to get down about it. It was too good of a trip already. And yeah, I wanted to fill my tag and have a bull to take home, but if it didn't happen, I was still content. It was just an out of this world trip either way, with or without the bull. And I remember thinking almost on a daily basis, I can't believe we're getting to do this. Like, this is unheard of. This is incredible. This is just so beyond anything I thought it might be. And it was kind of a peace came over me towards the end, I think. I just enjoy the whole process. It's not about the end goal and the end result of a kill. It's about being in the moment, experiencing it with my dad and with my friends, and just soaking up every minute of that hunt, and we surely did. We had a lot of really great elk encounters on the trip, and I remember Brian saying to me, you know, there's only so many times we can have a herd bull in range or get a shot opportunity. And he said to me, you know, at some point you might just have to make it happen. And I saw that bull coming across the ridge, and I could tell that he wasn't gonna come in range. He was too far up above me. And I think I just realized you have an angle here where he can't see you, and there's a chance that you might be able to get up there and get ahead of him just enough, maybe to get a shot. I didn't think it would work, but at this point, this stage of the trip, I thought, you don't have anything to lose, just go. And so I just took off. Are you kidding me? Did that just happen? I don't even know where to begin, but we had them in the timber. They were coming. We thought we were in good position. They got around us. They got down here, and next thing you know, they're going across the top of the hill. And back of my mind is like, just make something happen, because the way he was coming across, he couldn't see where I was. I was below him, and his antlers so tall are sticking up. Like I just ran. I literally ran. Got out where I could. All my bows just hanging full of trash and weeds and goldenrods, and pulled out my rangefinder to try to range, and it's nothing but just fog and water, and it wouldn't range. And I finally got one reading, and it said 60, and I'm like, I can do that. And he stopped. He was quartering away, absolutely perfect. And I remember thinking to myself, hold it, follow through, because it was kind of angling up, and I held it, and it looked to me like it went right in there. It looks like I just shot a Pennsylvania bull. Unbelievable, unbelievable. Thank you for all your hard work. You guys been busting your humps all week.
I'm gonna have to change my pants.
Okay.
Because I was laying in that water down there.
Yeah.
When you went freestyling through the field, I was like, I gotta get this. And I just got in the opening of that cattail.
Right.
And just went right down in that muck, because I had you perfect.
I figured you'd be able to see because I was like running above, so
Yeah.
I just figured we were okay.
Yeah.
7 days, we've been working really hard. 7 days, it finally came together.
I'm pretty sure that's the Saturday bull.
Same bull we saw Saturday morning in the fog. We had a bull come in on us that we couldn't get lined up on him, and he stayed back, and he got away from us, and we've been seeing him off and on, but all I knew was that was one of the herd bulls on top of the hill, and I was like, he's by himself. I'm going after him. To hunt elk in Pennsylvania, it's I can't even describe it to everybody. It's like nothing you could imagine. And to be here and share it with all these people that have been here with me. I have so many friends. I mean, literally, there's been over 30 people that have helped me on this trip, from food to scouting to everything. This isn't my bull, this is everybody else's bull too. I got him.
Oh boy.
Perfect.
I could see them, but I didn't know for sure where you guys, because when you guys started running, I thought there's no sense in me even trying to keep up, and all I'll do is mess it up. So I stopped.
Let's take a hike and see what's up there.
Looking for blood. I see blood. Yeah, I do. Just
Thanks for being here. Holy crap. That's awesome. About that.
wow.
Look at that set of horns.
He's a monster.
Well, here we are. What a week we've had in Pennsylvania. People talk about this hunt and you hear about it and it's almost something you can't even dream of. I'm going to tell you right now, this is one of the best experiences of my life. The bulls are incredible. I don't know how many bulls we've seen and worked this week. We've had so many close calls. Brian and Elk County Outfitters have worked their tails off for us. All his guides, just really appreciate their efforts. Thank you to God for allowing me to do this. I don't like to push that, but all my guys up here, they are strong Christians and it makes a difference. I know it's not for everybody. Some people aren't real sure about all that, but God's the reason I'm here and I can do this, and I'd be remiss if I didn't thank him first. Just incredibly grateful for this. This is a dream come true, absolutely. I'm the luckiest guy on earth, and not just today. I mean that. I've got a crew that just will do anything for anybody, and it's hard to even talk about. That's how good they are. So I'm just grateful. This is more than any of my wildest dreams right here. What a beautiful animal, what a beautiful bull. I almost don't even know what to say.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, Brian.
What an amazing animal. I mean, look at these trident on both beam tips. He's got triples.
Yeah, Dad said, what is he? I said, I don't even know. I don't care. I mean, there's points everywhere.
Yeah.
And I guess the biggest thing for me that strikes me is just how heavy he is. The mass is unreal. I mean, I've been out west hunting a bunch of states, and I've never seen mass like this. It's just incredible. Somehow, grace of God, was able to get in front of him.
Well, you should see it. It's going to be pretty cool with you skyline drawing that bow.
You did hit record, right?
I did hit record. I did hit record.
I appreciate that.
Sam and AJ, you got some competition now.
Yep, you're right. Yep.
You gotta stir the pot, right?
That's right.
You gotta stir the pot.
Well, thank you really for all your efforts.
No problem.
You guys have gone out of your way just with everything.
Well, I'm kind of glad we passed that bull this morning.
Yes.
That 6x6.
Yeah, I had, I won't say I had second thoughts, but I knew a lot of people weren't going to understand that. And I guess I came here this week, I wanted to shoot a herd bull, and that was my main goal. I wasn't too concerned with points or scores or anything like that. I wanted a mature bull. And, you know, we had multiple opportunities on younger bulls that were absolutely gorgeous. You know, for what I'm used to in the western states, these animals just dwarf them.
Well, now the work's going to begin.
Yes, sir. I can't wait. I'm happy to
I think
do
there's
it.
going to be a chorus of bugles all night, because
Yep.
I can still hear them
That'd be
back down
great.
in that hole.
Music to our ears. Hey,
Any good news?
it's about the best news you could hope for.
You got one?
I got a really, really big one.
Jumping up and down on the Las Vegas Strip. That's
Well,
awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. We did some jumping up and down here ourselves.
Holy cow, last day. Way to go. You did it. You guys
Yeah.
did it. Well,
Hey.
congratulations. Make sure you take some pictures.
Well, we'll take a couple pictures so you can see it. And
Yes, please.
hey, thank you for pulling all the way to home this week. I know it was a bit of a load, and it means a lot. Like you helped make this happen. So this is part you too. So
Thanks, Brad.
Thank
I love
you.
you. I'm so excited that it worked out. Yay.
love you too.
That's great.
All right, stay safe.
You.
Love you.
Okay.
All right,
Bye.
bye.
Thank you.
Did you hear her say thank the Lord? I wish I'd have kept that on. That was funny. Obviously, this hunt ended better than I could have ever dreamed of. To have a bull of that caliber laying there with my dad beside me and my good friends, and it was just out of this world. I'd just like to thank everyone who was involved in the trip, my dad especially. I love you. You mean the world to me. You've been such a great dad to me, and it means the world to me that you were there with me the whole time. So thank you. To the Elkatraz crew, my mates, you guys are the best friends a guy could have, and thank you for sticking it out with me, for all the travel you did, camp coordination, cooking, you name it. These guys were out there scouting. They did it all, and I love them for it. You guys are the best, so thank you. For Brian and the Elk County Outfitters team, in my opinion, you're the best outfitters in Pennsylvania. You went above and beyond for everything from finding a place for us to stay and keeping track of what seemed to me like every single bull in the whole area. You guys are complete professionals through and through. You made the experience so much better, and I really appreciate all your efforts, so thank you. I've probably already said more than I need to say, but I want to thank everybody out there. I encourage you all to unplug from the daily grind. Get out in the outdoors, share it with your kids. We're all counting on that next generation.